Hey, it's Karen, otherwise known as Wink, Blink, and Flirt. Tonight is a little bit different. Tonight, I'm here with some amazing women who I think are so exciting. I am totally giddy. Yes, I said giddy. To introduce you to them and to have you join the conversation. Tonight is the first night of Gurl Bye. So I want to explain to you what that's about. I've had conversations with all of the women up here, and we've talked about from everything from friendships to dating to um, job security, code switching, um, aging and maturing. And I thought to myself, are these conversations that everybody has? So, what I thought to do was to create a platform where all of these diverse personalities and amazing women came together and we could talk about some of the same things that we've had on these offline conversations. Tonight, we're going to be talking about friendships. And I thought that was very appropriate since I have friendships with all of these amazing women. And I wanted us to just kind of chop up how things like how friendships have changed for you. Are you making friendships over 40? And when do you fire a friend? All right, so here we go. Ladies, welcome. I want you guys to introduce yourselves. Ooh, there's that kitchen with all the takeout. There you go. This is not my usual background for those of you who are on with me sometimes. Yes, I'm in Boston. So, you guys, tell me. Let's start.
Is she frozen?
She's frozen.
I'm frozen again.
Yep.
There
There you
you go. You straight.
All right, there we go. Oh, the adventures. All right, so tell me, real talk, how many friends do each of you have? Real friends. Lola, what about you? How many real friends do you have?
You would start with me. I've had, mm, I'm reevaluating that.
Oh,
This
okay.
this year, I've let go of two of the friends that I've had for over 20 years,
Whoa.
and it was hard for me. So I'm reevaluating what friendship looks like. So that's why I was so excited. What happened?
She got kicked off. Oh, Lord. Keep going, Lola. We listening.
She,
Yeah.
um, I'm reevaluating that. So I would say probably two or three solid friends that I know that I can count on. They can count on me.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of associates
Mm-hmm.
that probably say that they're my friend, but when I put it up against my life at 51, it's very different than when I was 25, right? You know, things that you like change, things that you want to do change, things that are important to you change. So I went on a real spree of cutting a lot of people out because I went through some really serious things in the last year. And I just recognized that they didn't show up for me as I've shown up for them
Mm-hmm.
over the course of our 20 plus 30-year friendship. And I had to let it go because I wanted something very substantial when it came to friendship.
Mm-hmm.
I need more. I I don't need quantity, but I do want quality of friendship.
How about you, Erica?
Uh, well, I have a lot of friends that I have been close to for over 20 years that I'm still close with. So I would say I have a total of eight close friends that I can say that I have been friends with throughout that time. Um, as Karen knows, I have I have five sisters, the six of us. I consider them my best friends. So that's not included in my eight. So my sisters are considered my friends as well because I can call them on anything. But like Lola said, associates, I do have a lot of associates. Some of those associates may think that we are closer friends than normal, but some of them I can rely on, but they're not considered my closest friends. Let's say that. When I have a core group of 8 friends that I know for sure, if I call, they are there for me.
Are these your friends that I met at your birthday party when I first moved to Atlanta?
Yes, the same friends I've been friends with ever since. Yes,
Wow, that's amazing.
yes.
Kimberly, what about you?
I think that due in part to my personality, I don't tend to bring a lot of people close. I'm a watcher, and I'm kind of an introvert. I would say that I have 4 friends, including my original BFF, you, Karen. So uh, relocating, although it's been almost 20 years, uh, also has something to do with it. It's not familiar terrain, and where I live, Oakland, is a closed circle. It's hard to break in because everybody,
Feedback.
who's that? Everybody is related. That's my cousin. That's my god sister. So in a city that's really a town, it's kind of like Mayberry. In that way, uh, makes it hard to make friends. You learn to keep your mouth shut and not say anything bad about anybody. So I would say 4.
You in the Bay Area?
Yes.
You're right about it. Yeah, because I just moved from there. I was there 20 years.
Yeah.
Actually was there a long time ago when I was in high school, left, came to Atlanta, stayed here several years, and then went back there. But yeah, you're right. Everybody knows everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't know you, I know somebody that knows you.
Yes.
Oh, that's ugly. Well, I'm back.
You're back.
Hello.
It's an adventure. All right, Renee, what about you? Spelman alum.
I definitely can't put a number on friends. And then I'm always making new friends. I think because I've moved so much all my life that I always had to make an extra effort to maintain friendships. So I didn't like grow up in one place and have friends that, I mean, I have friends from childhood, but it's because even through all those moves, I kept in touch. And I think because of all that movement, it was always, I'm not going to say easy for me to make friends, but probably necessary for me to make friends. Just like I met you,
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm always meeting people and making new acquaintances that sometimes actually do become friends. But I
That's
can put a number on it.
that's interesting. Yvette, what about you?
Okay. Um, you know what? It's so ironic that you asked this question and that we're talking about this because I made a TikTok and I said that my March goals were to make new friends.
Okay.
And you guys don't know me. I just met you tonight, but I'm in my late 50s and
Go
I
ahead,
am a
girl.
hairstylist. And with that particular job, I've been a hairstylist for 27 years. And with that particular job, you can easily get a boatload of friends because, your clients over the years really become your friends. I'm also a mother of 4, and my kids have now become like my friends because they moved out of the kid zone into full adulthood. And so, with them knowing me so well, it's just kind of have like mutated into friendship. Um, with high respect, of course. But I was gonna say that I am searching for new friends. I was just telling my fiance that, I want new friends because I want friends that are now looking to do exactly what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And yeah,
That's an interesting point. Do you think that the type of friends or the friends that you the stage, huh? The friends that were your friends in your 20s, would you be friends with those same women today? I know you said, Erica, you still have long running friends. And Lola, you said you just divorced some friends. I call it fire. Sometimes you can't run the entire run of the job. Sometimes you got to be let go. But the friendships and the women that you made friends with in your 20s and your 30s, would those be the same? Sorry, y'all. Someone just sent me a text. Um, would those be the same type of women that you'd be friends with now?
Those are my friends from
Okay,
the.
those are still your friends.
They're still my friends.
So y'all are growing and evolving together.
Yes,
If you met them now, you'd still become friends with them?
I would say so.
Okay.
I would say so.
What about you, Renee?
I have some friends, just like 2 or 3 from like 7th grade, I think, or 9th grade.
Yeah.
Just a couple. And then I have a couple from college. And then I have even more that I've met in my 40s.
Are you former military?
No.
Military brat? You're not a military brat. I
No.
I legitly today spoke to a friend of mine who I've known since I was in the 2nd grade.
Mm-hmm.
And when I swear with my right hand raised to God, our conversation went a little bit like this. Hey, where are you? What are you doing? Oh, I'm home. What's new? Anything interesting? Oh, the
Nothing.
usual work, meetings, politics. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. How are your mother and your sister? Good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, now, all of you know I can go. I have been on the phone with each of you pretty much for an hour sometimes. We have phone visited.
Mhm.
This is the one person in my life who doesn't do, and it's very frustrating for me. And I'm never gonna fire her because she was my first friend as a single Black girl on Long Island, a little single Black little girl. So she was my first Black friend. But I wonder if I just met her now, would she be someone that I would be friends with? But Kimberly, to your point, I wonder if she's really an introvert. Are extroverts able to be friends with introverts, you guys?
I think so.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you think extroverts kind of like dominate the relationship, or do they really? Is there a balance?
I think there's balance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting. Which of you has fired a friend? I know Lola said you have. Who else has fired a friend, and what made you fire them?
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
I do.
Everyone's like, me.
Yes.
They might be watching, so
I can.
Well, at least they know why they got severed. They got their separation papers.
Well, the two close friends that I fired, I don't want to say fired because that's such a harsh word.
right.
I would just say that we're misaligned in the
Their
sense
contract
of,
came to an end.
yeah. One was very uh one was very shocking to me because this woman was my daughter's godmother. I actually, her ex-husband and I grew up together, and so we were best friends for a long period of time. And then when she came into the mix, she didn't like me initially because she thought I might have had history with him. And I'm like, girl, that's my brother. But when she started having kids, I ended up taking her to her doctor's appointments, and she deemed me the godmother for her first child. And then it just kind of continued with her other kids. And in December, we were out celebrating right before Christmas, me, her, my daughter, and she's gone through a divorce. And she was drinking very, very heavily, which I had no problem with because I'm gonna look out for her because that's my like my sister. And we were karaokeing. I come back to the table and she's cursing my daughter out, like going off on my daughter. And she apologized. You know, it was a crazy night. She apologized. But what made me end the friendship, it was just like, if it had been me with her daughters, that would have never happened, one. And two, when she apologized to me, but she didn't really apologize to my daughter. And for my daughter, she's always been a really safe space for her. And after it, she wasn't. Like, my daughter really felt like, if this is somebody that truly, truly loves me, like, how did it get to this space? Like, and on top of that, you don't apologize, like, really legitimately to me. Especially when you're thinking about safety, like emotional safety. This is like her second mom, and now she doesn't feel emotionally safe with her. And we were all in a group chat with her daughters and my daughter. And my daughter, you know, has been to therapy, and she just kind of said, hey, I love you guys. I want to apologize for my part that I played in it that night. But there have been some things that have been said, some things that have been done that don't sit well with me. And I just want to bow out gracefully. And that didn't work for them. It was like, we're just supposed to accept the apology, move on. But you didn't really apologize to my child. And it just put a bad taste in my mouth. And I was just like, this is not a person that I want to, like, if you can't hold yourself accountable, even when you're having a bad day, like, you can't hold yourself accountable and still apologize, then I don't know if I want to, like, be around that type of a person anymore. And then it made me examine, how long have I just been tolerated? How long has my daughter just been tolerated?
Okay.
And when I started examining that, it was like, were you really my friend, or were you just my friend by association?
Wow.
Which made me have to examine my own boundaries and my own idea of what friendship looked like.
Interesting.
Because what it was in my 20s is very, very different than what it looks like in my 50s.
Yes.
All right.
I didn't require a lot. It was hanging out, partying, going to the club, doing whatever. But in my 50s, when my mom has cancer and my dad has Parkinson's disease, and I'm traveling and I've got a young adult that I got to help navigate, you know, my conversation is different.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, I'm a very loyal friend. I'm a person that's going to show up to all the birthday parties. I'm going to help you plan them. I'm going to put up streamers. I'm that type of friend. I'm going to be there for every single celebration. I'm sending cards, money, gifts, everything.
Duly
And
noted.
I felt like my friendships that I've had, when I started examining my core circle, it was just like, I've been doing a whole lot for a lot of people. And I'm noticing that people just really don't feel the same way about me.
That's hard. That's hard to process. And that you can't, how do I want to say this? It's hard not to be resentful and angry with people when you come to that realization that I'm the give and you're the take. And that's what this relationship has been about more.
Can I say this? I appreciate that happened.
Mm.
because what it did was it made me and my daughter very close. We were already close, but it just made us closer. It also made us examine what we desire and what we need in friendship relationships.
Interesting. Interesting. Yvette, you wanted to speak on like a friend that you had fired?
Oh yeah.
Call it
I
fire.
was into. I don't mind saying I'm fired because it's the truth. I always to get younger friends. All of my friends are younger than me.
Really?
And this one particular girl was my client. I was her kid's godmother, the twins. And so we started going out together to different little spots and stuff like that. And I was so oblivious. I just grew up differently. I grew up real sheltered. I got married at 18. I was very sheltered.
Whoa.
And so I was really kind of seeking friends and stuff like that. And like I said, because I am a hairstylist, I tend to get close to people real fast and quick. But I will isolate the ones that I feel like that I'm in a safe space with,
Mhm.
And so this girl was one of those. And so we started hanging out a lot. And so the guys were like, kind of liking me too. And
Mhm.
so she got really, you know, uh, like defensive about it. So over time, we ended up meeting the same guy.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, what?
Oh wow.
Mm.
We did. We ended up meeting the same guy. And that particular, we met him at different times. Like she wasn't with me when I met him. I wasn't with her when she met him. So we kind of was talking about the same guy. This could be a book, right? So
Risa Teresa, the single version.
girl. So he pursued me. And then one day I was like, hey, I'm gonna be hanging out with my friends. He was like, okay, I'm going with my friends too. He ended up coming where I was. And all I remember is everybody looking up behind me. And then when I looked up, he was there. He kissed me on my forehead. And then he whispered, he's like, can I buy your friends some drinks? I was like, yeah. Then I saw her face. Instantly, she was mad. And I was like, what happened? So I kind of like put two and two together. I was like, you know him? And she's like, yes. She opened her phone. She showed me his number and stuff. So I didn't get mad about it. I just asked him, and he was like, no, I don't know her. Anyway, that changed into, oh my God. Mm-mm-mm. It was a lot, y'all. I can't even go into everything that happened. She did everything to try to destroy the people around me, like to bring me down and say all
Scorched
this
earth, huh?
negative stuff about me. And I just felt so attacked because I didn't pursue this guy. The guy pursued me. And he uh did well, I can't even say, and I don't even care if he knew that I knew her. I knew that my part was innocent. And that's when that, bros before hoes come in. She
Chicks
and I have been
before.
friends for a long time, like 15 years, maybe. And I was just like totally like taken aback because how could you let one man destroy everything that we had and blame me and now attack me because of the situation, which neither one of us ended up with God because I totally, put the guy out of my life once I found out that he had been seeing her. Anyway,
That's messy.
so
Yeah.
I mean,
I have a question for you, Bet.
mhm.
Okay, so you guys were friends from meeting from the hair salon.
I
So
met her when I was in beauty school.
in beauty school. Okay. And then so I'm like my friends, I wouldn't know their boyfriends like when they get the boyfriend. Like, and I guess I'm looking at, to me, she kind of might have been an associate in a way, because if she was like, if she was like really your true friend, I think both you guys would have met your man before he come in the restaurant. So, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
at
Well, you
some
know,
point,
I see what you're saying. But we would talk about him, but I just didn't have a clue that it was him. She never said his name, you know. She
yeah,
just was talking about him in general. Me, I kind of keep my stuff a little private until I'm more serious with you,
yeah,
you know. But she was my good friend. Uh, but I'm like, Lola, maybe I just didn't know the real true depths of our friendship, but that that changed the trajectory of me having friends.
Oh, interesting.
oh wow,
Yes, for a long time, I just didn't bring people close to me until
How
this
recent
one
is that?
girl, and she drove me one night in a lift, and I don't know, I just opened up to her. But for a long time, I didn't have like close friends because of that one situation. And you know, I just can't, me, my personal self, I can't see a man, I'm talking about not my husband, but just a guy that I'm seeing separate me from a friend that I've been friends with for that long.
It can
Now that's
happen.
do you think she
Sisters
was?
before misters.
Yeah,
Right.
do
And
you think?
friendship breakups are harder to me than
Mhm.
like like romantic relationships,
I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
because you spend so much time with them, you're sharing your life with them, they know about your life, you know about their life, and then the surprise in the end is like, dang, you know so much about me, and now we're not even friends anymore. Like, are you going to still hold my secrets, my bones, my skeletons? Are you still going to hold those things in high regard? Like, are
I,
you going to keep that
There you go.
private?
Yes. And
mm.
that's what she started doing to me. She started like
Oh, she wasn't your
destroying me
friend.
with all of my secrets.
Oh
Yo,
no.
that's
she wasn't. She
crazy.
wasn't a friend. She didn't look at you as a friend. Is what it looks like. Sounds like you
Yeah,
saw her as a friend, but she didn't find you as a friend. No,
Mhm.
yeah.
that's
Which
what it
I
looks
later
like.
found out that
Yeah,
she had been talking about me, to her
That
friend.
yeah,
you were a friend of convenience, and I think sometimes women, and especially the women in the generation like a decade, 2 decades younger than us, that I think some of them have relationships of convenience. Like, this is my girl, she's a trainer. So we hang out together because she hooks me up and she trains me. This is my girl, she's a chef and she does da da da. And I think from what I've seen and observed, there are a lot more relationships of convenience versus, I think with us, it's like I take you warts, wrinkles, cellulite, and all. I'm not judging you. I'm loving you for who you are and where you are, which is interesting. Renee, what about you? Did you want to kind of touch on that before we kind of move on to my next?
I mean, I've had a couple. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into detail because they might be watching.
She said, I send everybody the invite. So, well, let me ask you this, Renee. Do you have any friends who are men? And is it possible for us to be friends with men at this age?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you as a start.
So I have no male friends.
Really?
I was married for 20 years. I'm just getting the divorce now.
Okay.
And prior to that, I was never one to have a lot of male friends, but I did have one. And my husband asked me to end that friendship.
Wait. What did you just say? My what?
Husband.
husband.
No husband.
My
Oh,
husband, I got that from P, one of the ladies that travels in my travel group.
oh, my
So
husband.
my husband asked me to end the friendship, and I did because he was a guy that I dated prior to
Mm.
getting married. So I
Yeah,
ended that
that's a
friendship.
whole nother conversation right there.
And in the 20 years of marriage, I don't think I ever had a male friend. So now I am meeting gentlemen online and,
Mhm.
just creating some male friendships there.
Are they friendships or potential ships?
To me, they're friendships.
Do they know it's purely friendships and
They
not
may be
potential
watching, so
ships? You see, I left out fill in the blank for yourself.
there's an opportunity for so much there. There are friendships and situationships and all kind of things. Just finding out what they really want and being honest about what you want. I think there's an opportunity for a lot there.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask a loaded question, as Renee, you know I will, and all of you know I do. Is it possible to be friends with the man without sleeping with him? And
Yeah.
and once you slept with the man, does he really ever stay in the friend zone?
Yeah, I'm probably not the one to ask. Like I said, I have not had very many male friends.
Yeah, Lola, what you got?
Tag me in, coach. I was friends with a guy in college. We were really, 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 really good friends. And fast forward 20 plus years later, I found myself divorced. He had just come back from the military. He was a contractor. He come into Atlanta, hung out with some other, our mutual friends. And then he was like, well, where is Lola? I haven't seen her in 20 years. And they were like, oh, she lives in Atlanta. So he calls me up. Of course, it's like, just like, how we were 20 years ago. We got to hang out. We reconnected, hung out or whatever. So then all of our friends, our mutual friends, were like, you guys are both single. You should attempt to try to date. Y'all are like perfect for each other and so on and so forth. And we did. We attempted it. And it was the worst decision, I think, of my life. It was the absolute worst decision of my life.
Why?
Because he was not who I thought he was.
Oh.
And he was
20
mean.
years was not good to him.
He was mean.
He was mean. He was he had he was a substance abuser. I didn't know that about him.
Oh my goodness.
He had horrible hygiene.
It's like opening up the prize, and it's like,
And it's like, you were like, I held him in such high regard when we were younger. Like, he was always so well put together. He always smelled good. He always looked good. He always kept a really good job. And I don't know. It just, it was the worst thing I could have ever done.
Yep.
E, what about you?
It was a front for sure.
Lord, E, what about you?
Because he was a straight up bum.
So I do have male friends that I went to college with, that I am still friends with.
But have you slept with them ever?
No.
Okay. That's what is, I'm wondering now, is that what keeps that friendship together?
Probably so. I would never, we have never been on that level of wanting to date them. I do believe some of them do like me, but we're not going there to say that.
She goes, that's a journey we'll never take.
Never take. And they're not bad looking men. It's just that I know it's something I want to keep my friendship. I wouldn't want to ever cross that line. And they have never crossed the line with me. They're very protective of me. Anytime I go anywhere, they protect me of anybody that's around me. A lot of my friends say, you know he likes you, right? And I'm like, I don't care if he likes me or not. We're not going there, so that's fine.
So you morph them into, you morph them into like the brother zone. Forget the friend zone. They're in the brother zone.
They're in the brother zone. And they tell me everything about their relationships. And I don't share nothing with them, no. But they tell me all of their business.
You really keep it purely business.
Yeah. They tell me their personal stuff as well. You know, and then like we go off for college, they always, where you at, E? Meet me at this part on the campus. So they always be protective of me though. Like if something is going on, a party, you have to leave. You don't stay because they're doing bad stuff. You leave. They're always
really.
Wow. They've been that way since I've been here. Since we came to Atlanta from college, they've always been that way.
Wow. Kimberly, what about you? Friends? Have you had male friends? And do you think once you've slept with a man, can you go back to being full-on friends?
I do have male acquaintances. But I don't think that you can sleep with someone and then put that toothpaste back in the tube. It just it complicates things. Yeah, it makes it weird. It just makes it weird. And so I always try and become friends with an ex, and have prided myself on that effort. But those exes who try to be friends with me are
Become
looking
wise.
to. Oh, that's right. We're live, aren't we? Well,
Yes.
we'll just say it's complicated.
No, it's okay. It's recording too.
Yeah,
Covering all the
so
bases
about
here.
that. Yeah, we'll just leave it there.
Yeah.
People can fill in the blank.
I had a friend, someone who. Okay, I'm going to step backwards. My philosophy has always been that you don't. You're friends, and if we are friends, we stay in the friend box. We do the friend dance. We do the friend brunches. And we're friends, like to Erica's point with those friends. And I said, for that reason, I don't have intimate gestures, for lack of a better word, so we don't get thrown off or shadow banned, with my friends. There was one person who I was involved with said, that is the person you should be. I don't know, this may have been gaslight in a Jedi mind trick. But he said, you should be, that should be the person that you want to be intimate with, is your best friend who's a guy. And I really, to this day, I kind of go, because I've seen people in some of these social media streets say, I want to marry my best friend. I want to be with the woman who is my ride or die, who I want to spill all the tea with. So, in terms of friendships, should you have that, and which made me kind of think about this. Should my guy friend be the person I spill all my tea with? That man that I'm like committing to? Or is it my girl who, if something happens and goes sideways, she might be in these streets, social media and otherwise, spilling all of my tea to everyone who'll listen?
Well, I want to say first, my male friends are not my best friends.
Say again,
My male friends are not my best friends, so they're not the one that.
Okay.
I don't see. If that's the case, what you're saying, if your male friend is your best friend, that probably is your man that you're supposed to be with. I don't have a male friend that's my best friend.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I want to say that the men that I have as my friends, they have morphed into my brother, and I will never cross that boundary. They've been my friends for over 20 years, and I will say that I'm with. I think the majority. I can't. I don't think that I would sleep with my friend and then expect for me now to go back to just a friendship.
That's
I'm
awkward.
I'm streaming this live, and one of the ladies asked. She said, "Yes, it's possible to have platonic friendships with males." She said, "The question is, what is the intention of both the male and the female?"
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good question.
That's a very good question. I think it depends on the people. Like Erica, I've got male friends that I've been friends with since college because I used to be in a singing group with them. I was the only girl in a singing group with 4 guys, and they are like my brothers. Like, they all are married. Well, one of them is divorced now, but all of them are married. I know their wives, I know their children. Like, I'm Auntie Lola to their kids. and I'm still friends with them, and we talk. We have a group chat that we talk on, throughout the week. So it's possible, but you also have to know what the intention is. I think that that's important, because a lot of times, I don't know if a lot of men think that they can be friends with women that they're not trying to pursue.
Interesting.
Like heterosexual relationships is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a whole lot of it. I think it can be done because I've done it, but I've seen more situations where it fell apart because the girl either friend zoned them or the guy friend zoned the girl, and then that person gets upset who gets friend zoned because they had other intentions.
Yes.
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 So let me ask you this, because sometimes I am a little messy. Some of you'll learn that sooner than later. Have you ever had a friend? Well, we kind of lightly talked about that, so I want to kind of change that up a little bit. In terms of some of the friendships that you've had, are there friends that you've regretted having? I mean, Yvette spoke to that person, but people who you realize were not good for you and didn't bring out the best in you?
I can say, let me speak to that. So I have, of all my friends that I have, they all have different personalities. I'm gonna say that. You have to know what your friends bring to the table. I have some friends that don't. It depends. Like one friend that comes from a different upbringing, that doesn't believe in I have to be the one to call you, or like she won't take the initiative, but she was raised that way. But then you have another friend that's in our group that doesn't understand that. But I can see her point. I can see both of them point. But I have to look at my friend. I have to know my friend and know who they are. I have to know if I want to do something, I have to call her. She's not gonna be the one to make the initiative. Take the initiative. And then sometimes I'll be like, well, I'm not gonna do it today. And then eventually she'll make the call, but I know her as a friend. She doesn't do that. But if you need her for something, she's there for you. That's another of a friend. All my friends have different personalities.
Yours do. You really do have a very eclectic group of friends.
Group of friends. They all have different.
But they're all cool. I like the friends of your friends that I've met.
And they all can get in the same group together because most of them, if they're my friend, they mostly have met my other friends. And I've met their friends as well. And they become friends with my friends.
Have any of your friends ever not liked your friends?
Of course. I have one friend that is very, I'm supposed to be only her friend. I have that one friend that I am only her friend.
One friend. You're the one friend.
Around, she has an issue. I have two. Because I just noticed another friend at my birthday dinner that they were fighting over the one chair to sit beside me at my birthday dinner. And I was like, okay, I have two friends now that are very, but you see that the neediness in a friend.
Wow.
I'm not that friend. I if we all are friends, I get there, whatever seat I get. I'm gonna be there for you, whatever. I'm like Lola. I don't have any kids, but I've been to so many baby showers, so many kids' birthday parties, because my friends have kids. So and they invite me. They be like, I know you don't have any kids, but we're doing my son's birthday at the skating rink. I said, okay. I'll grab one of my nieces and nephews, if they're around, and I'll bring them with me. But you just have to know your friend. And I know all my friends and all of their twerks. I know when somebody say, it's just me and you, she doesn't want nobody else to come with us.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I only have one ticket, meaning I know you can get multiple tickets. That means, no, it's just me and you together. So
you know what, Erica, with you and I know you as a very close person, that you keep your fences tight.
Very.
You really do. It's like I think about, I'm gonna tell this part. Before I moved to Atlanta and we were applying for the job, and I said, well, I can laugh about it now because I was like, for real? I said, well, can I use your address to use as my, she said, no, but you can use my P.O. box. And I was like, I thought we were friends. I was like, You don't want me to know where you live? Is that what you're saying?
We're all friends. We have to get there to give you my address. But we got it,
But it was funny because at this age, I kind of go, okay. But then I was like, well, what does that mean? And now it's like with Renee, when we first met, it was a different kind of energy and vibe that I learned. I'm gonna mention this and just kind of spin off into this direction. Are your friends helping you grow and learn? So because Renee was somebody I decided I really wanted to keep in my life and in my circle because we were at the podcast summit and she was telling me about this event and I went, I wonder how much is that? And she says, that's not. Tell me remind me what you said, Renee. I remember what you said, but I want other people to hear it because it's beneficial.
I don't remember what I said, but
Okay.
if we were having this conversation now, I would probably say that's not the issue. If this is something important, you don't worry about that.
That's
So
exactly
it's
what you
probably
said.
something like that.
Yep.
Like you were so interested and you were like, it was kind of like, I need this in my life. How much is it? And I was like, no, that's not the question. You need to know when is it? Because you're sounding like you're going to decide whether or not you're going to go based on the price. And my thing was, if you need this, it's like when I go get gas, people are like, oh, gas is high. I have no idea what gas is because I need it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to stand up there and look at the thing. Oh my God, I'm still going to get it. So what difference do it make?
What would impress me so much about Renee was we knew each other maybe all of over dinner and then the next day. And she was grown enough and showed me who she was a woman, about what her values was, what she believed, and she cared enough about me as a person to impart that knowledge. And to compound it with that was like to say, that's not the energy that you want to attach to that kind of thing, or whatever you want. And I was like, oh, I need her in my life, in my friendship circle, because she's a grown up.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that you said that she's a grown up, because I have this thing with women where it's like, have you come into your womanhood yet? Meaning, and I think that women come into their womanhood at very different ages, very different stages of their life, depending on what has transpired in their life. And I feel like when somebody is being grown and they're thinking about your well-being, they're like speaking into your life from a place of like, she needed to let you know, like, no, you can't use that mindset and say, hey, I'm not going to go to this event. You're going to go and you're going to figure out how to get there. Like, that's grown woman. You know what I mean? Like, let's cut to the chase. Let's get to what it really is about. And I think that it's called that maturity, that grown woman. I don't know. It's just like it's a thing where women are just kind of settled in who they are. They have that confidence and they just can kind of troubleshoot whatever's going on mentally with other people. And I love that. I feel like if we're vetting out our friends, that's one of those things that you need to, at our age.
Yeah.
That is one of the components that you would want in friendship, for sure. It was that. And then I think too, when you talk about actualizing the things that you want, everybody up here has a hustle, grind, things that they're working towards, business, enterprise, and things of that nature. I think, this is in my opinion, when you are striving for things, you cannot have people around you, friends around you, who have a mindset, and Kimberly was a mindset coach, and you can probably speak to this, whose mindset, whose energy is going in an entirely different direction than you are for what you are striving for. And I've arrived at this point in my life, that it's not so much, when I was in my 20s, it's like I wanted to be friends with all the cute, bubbly girls. my 30s, I wanted to be friends with all the girls or the guys who, like, we were very ambitious and we were buying houses and things like that. At this point in my life, I want people friends who know who they are, who have solid values and are good people, and their mindset is as such that they are growing, evolving, and they're helping the people around them grow and evolve. And they're striving for something more than, ooh, girl, I can't wait to get him into bed. Or I can't wait to knock my granny down to get her savings, her bearer bonds, or whatever the case may be. I want people who can pour into me and I can pour into them. And it's a totally, my whole friendship rubric has changed these days. I tell people I may seem silly. No, I'm not stupid.
You know what, Karen? I just love this direction that you're going with the conversation because, I'm more closer to 60 than in 50. And like I said earlier, I always,
Her.
yep,
Yes.
She never looks the same either.
I don't. My hair is
That
gonna
black
be
don't crack, baby. That black does not crack. Okay.
And so I always have younger friends. And I was just telling my fiance that, I really need people in my life that can pour back into me because I always end up pouring into them. It's a part of who I am as a life coach, as a hairstylist, that is a part of who I am. And it always, I'm a giver. So naturally I'm a giver. I don't mind giving, but sometimes I just want somebody to give back to me on my same level. Someone that can match me, that I don't have to take myself down to make them feel okay. And that's always been a thing with me, in the salon, I used to have a salon with, like 8 people in it working. And excuse me 1 second.
I
have a question about that.
Go ahead.
With Yvette saying that she's a giver, because it seems like everybody on here is kind of like that in a sense, whether they're a coach or a trainer or a giver, have businesses and stuff.
Yeah.
Have you found it harder to find friends who are givers than friends who are, or associates who are takers? Because I feel like when you're empathic or you're a coach or you're always like the strong friend or the person that's always like giving advice or, helping people out, a lot of times you attract people that really need your help, but it's not necessarily you attract people that can pour back into you. That's my one question. The second question is the person that pours back into you, does it have to be the person that you're giving to?
Ooh.
I can answer that. Okay, I just talked about this to one of my girlfriends, one of my good friends. So Karen knows I just started a business. And when you start a business, you think your friends, associates, not friends, your associates that you always help, that you always do business with, will be the main ones to help you. And what I learned, I talked to my sister about this, Leisha, and I was telling her, I said, I'm not going to get angry about it. I'm going to do better myself by how I present myself with other people now. I sent out over 300 texts, because I have over thousands of numbers in my phone, of business owners that can benefit from my business. Karen was the first person to reply back. Outside of my true girlfriends, they all, who had businesses, I talked to them already. Karen was the very first person to reply back to me and say, I'm in. I don't care what I'm doing I'm in. Out of those 300, I probably got 10 people to reply.
That's pretty good, actually.
I was going to say, I'm surprised.
But still, the point is, these people that I reached out to call me all the time to help them. One person, I helped the prior week to do something. And then he decides to call me 2 weeks later. I actually still have not called him back. I don't want your help now. Because when I ask you in that first, and that's just me, I know I probably got in my feelings, but I should, because I help everybody. If you
But
tell
is
me,
it wrong? Is it wrong?
to me, it's not wrong.
I
I
moved
have
to a
bought so many
place where
cookies for people's kids, but you can't support me. That's a problem. The girl who used to do my hair, she was like, all she did was say, okay, how much have I paid you over years of doing my hair that you cannot support my business? So you know what? I went through my phone, so I saying, these people are really not my friends. Not my associates. I didn't ever say they were my friends, but my associates. I went through like, okay, delete. My phone is already telling me my iCloud is full. Let me delete some of this to get my iCloud back not being full. Because if you're not going to help me, why should I be helping you? And the question that came out of that with my girlfriend, I said to her, and this is another question we can go off of after everybody answers this one. When is it that we are too old to make new friends?
Get out of my head. That's where we're going.
Because I went to an event, and it was a very nice event. And I meet people all the time because I run my mouth a lot. I talk a lot. They call me a marketing person. I can market myself. So this girl took my number, and she invited me to the event the next day. Then she invited me the next day after that. She kept inviting me to different events. I'm like, am we trying to be my friend? I'm trying to figure out where are we going with this.
I don't date women.
We like being friends. Well, and I don't have a problem, but I just felt like she wanted a friendship.
Okay.
And I don't like to myself, can I give her what she's wanting? We sometimes go into stuff because we want to be out and not see a person's intentions. And I think that, and I've been listening to Yvette because I know she was saying she wanted to meet new friends. It's like, when do we say we've met enough? We're at the friends. We're done with the friends.
I don't think you're ever too old to make friends.
No, like to make friends, to say that they're our true friends, like the core friends.
I will say this. About 10 years ago, and I had friends, like my childhood friends. You know what? Let me go back. I know I said in the beginning I only had 3 friends, but I got 4 childhood friends that I'm very, very, very close to. They don't live in the same state with me, so I don't see them all the time. I'm talking about my core people in Atlanta. But I was so dead set on not getting any new friends, and I was on a project. I met a girl. We were doing an all scripts project, and we were the only 2 Black girls there. I thought I was not going to like her. She thought she was not going to like me. Matter of fact, we had already said in our mind we weren't going to like each other at our meeting. Okay. And at the end of the night, we were all the trainers were supposed to get together and go to dinner. Well, what happened was everybody bailed out on going to dinner except for me and her.
Oh, wow.
We get to this dinner, we start talking, and it was like we knew each other all of our lives. She is my very best friend today.
Oh, wow.
I mean, she is my friend that I have known the least amount of time in my life. Because I got friends that I've known for almost 50 years. Well, 40 years since school age.
Yeah.
She is when I say my very best friend, she's my very best friend right now. To this day.
Wow.
So if you are scared about getting a new friend, Yvette, just, work through that. Work through whatever that is. Because sometimes that's traumatic, like when you have friendship breakups.
Yeah.
But work through it. I encourage you, because she's my very best friend. I don't know what I would do without her. She's my very best friend.
It's funny. I just want to kind of tap into this. I'm going to apologize to you guys publicly to explain to you why it took so long, because I had a little bit of trauma. There's someone who I invited into this circle, this sister circle, and I really don't care. She's a soror, and she got more brand new and more painful than a pair of patent leather shoes.
Hey.
I was like, what in the Western fill in the blank on your own? It became this big thing, to the point where she blocked me. on social media. She blocked my email address. And I was like, what is this, the 13th grade? Because I said, I want you to come into a circle with people, women you all read what I wrote, respect, admire, and appreciate, and made it all about herself. And it was like, you're attacking me and I'm going to have to block you and da, da, da. And I thought, this is someone who we talked like 3 or 4 times a week. We phone visited. It was really, I thought it was a good friendship, good relationship. And it literally, I was like, I don't understand what just happened. And I really felt like maybe I was foolish to say that this person was a friend.
Did you miss some red flags?
But this person was she was down for a minute, like 4 flat tires, for real. Like, girl, I don't want you drinking this nutrition drink. I'm going to have you do this. I'm going to send you some money because I want you to throw that out, and I'm going to replace that kind of down. And so I'm sorry that this got a late start, because I literally had to sit back and walk back. What happened? I thought I had made a friend and let that person in. And I really was like, did I miss that? Was there something that?
Yeah, you probably missed a red flag or 3.
Yeah.
Not 3, Renee. Not 3.
You drink. She told you what you were doing was wrong. You got enough red flags. She was telling you what to do, and you know you don't like it by telling you what to do. So that was the first red flag.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah.
But maybe, what if she was going through something, and because sometimes people go through things and they will take out those things on the people that they're the closest to.
Oh Lord, now I can't.
So
what, Renee?
I can't do that.
I
can't deal with that. And I also can't deal with the friend who's going through something and they drop off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
With me, there's no coming back from that.
Really?
No, I can't do it. I've had 2 friendships that I can think of that have ended that way, where I don't know what you're going through, but you know, I'm calling, checking, you don't answer, call back, and then 6 months later, hey girl, I can't do it.
Okay.
I'm not guilty of the 6 months, but I am definitely guilty of that. When I go through stuff, because I'm always everybody else's support, so no one is never really my support. So,
but see, if I get what you're saying, I'm the friend that's the support, and I think that's why I can't do it, because I'm
so when I'm going through something, I just fall off the face of the earth, and eventually they figure out, oh shoot, she fell off the earth. You know, so like, yeah. But
and then when you come back, everything's all good.
I mean, because I don't.
Your audio's a little off.
The friends that I've been having, it's 30 years or more of friendship, so we ain't going nowhere.
They know you.
They know me. We ain't going nowhere.
Okay, yeah, these for me, they have been friendships almost that long, and I mean, it only happened once, because like I said, it's no coming back. I don't understand that as a friend. I just don't get it.
Is it because that person hasn't allowed you to be a friend?
I don't think that's it. For me, it looks like you don't value my friendship.
Or trust or value the friendship?
I don't think you value my friendship. And so
I just feel like I'm a better friend to my I feel like I'm a better friend to my friends than they are to me. And once I accepted the fact that I was not going to get that type of relationship, like how I am to them, reciprocated back to me, then once I realized that I just stopped holding them accountable for it. Because
can I say something?
Yeah.
You deserve friendship. You deserve a reciprocated friendship.
Right.
And I don't know how old you are. You look very young. If you're
I'm
like
46.
Oh, honey, you look about 25.
Yeah, she does.
You look like you're about my daughter's age.
Like,
I'm like Mama Bear because I have this conversation with my daughter all the time. The people that we were talking about with Yvette when she was talking about her, being a friend to people because she's been a hairstylist and she's done all these things for other people, and we all have. But it's like when you say to yourself, when you're accepting that you're not going to receive a friendship like you, you so deserve that. That's not fair to you.
I deserve it. Oh, I know I deserve it. They have gotten better over the years. They have definitely gotten better over the years. But I'm telling you, I had to fall off. Like, let me see how long it takes for y'all to realize that I done fell off.
See,
I don't know if it was that me turning 51. I don't know if it was me turning 51 in January, but you weren't here when I was talking about my other friendship. But when I started examining, I had a situation where I had to examine all my core friends. And my other very best friend, not the one that I talk to every day, that is the friend that I just spoke of, but my other very best friend, we've been friends all of our life. She's actually my family member, but she's my best friend. She's a cousin of mine. And she started dating a guy that she dated previously. And it was somebody that I introduced her to 20 plus years ago. Oh, wow. And last year I was going through so many things. Like my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. My dad has Parkinson's disease. My contract abruptly ended twice. It was the worst adult year of my life. And I went to my best friend and I said to her, hey, I'm not asking her to help me navigate out of it, but do you have any idea what I need to do? Because both of her parents have passed. Okay. So I felt like she could speak to what I was going through with both of my parents having real serious illnesses. And every time I called, I felt like it was almost like, have you ever seen the Charlie Brown teacher where they start talking and the Charlie Brown is like, womp, 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 womp. Our conversation ended up being like that. Like, I would say something very substantial, like, hey, can you tell me how to do blah, 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 blah. And she would be talking about her neighbor's dog. Or so it was like, it just was not connecting. Oh. And every time I talked to her, I would get off the phone like with a big question mark over my head. Like, are we not the people that we were before? Like, what's going on in our friendship where I feel like when I'm talking to you, there's this strong disconnect?
But Lola, that's what I was talking about. Like sometimes you have these friendships when we're younger and the conversation and the interaction is very fluffy. It's very light. And then we get into this age range where ish gets extremely real. You will learn your friends as this ish is real. And if your friend is talking about, girl, I got this new hair from such and such a place, and you're talking about, yo, my mother and father are dying.
Yeah. But how do you deal with that? I'll give you my example. How do you deal with that?
Time out, friend.
But to that extent,
how do you deal with that when you've been that person for them when they were going through the most difficult time of their life? But now it's your turn, and that person is like not there.
So Lola, let me explain that. So basically, and I've lost both of my parents. Both my parents are deceased. So, and you to call me, I'd have been like, "Oh my God, Lola," I'd have been like that. But some people cannot deal with that. So you got to look at the grief side of people dealing with grief. Like I have a friend now that lost her husband, and if you say something, she'll start, she'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," but her way of coping and helping you is to go to something different. Talk about something totally different because she cannot deal with grief. But I know her as a friend to know that that's how she is. Like she's really messed up in the head now because of that.
Okay. And I will go with you there. But what happens when it's something general and it don't have nothing to do with grief and you still talking to them and there's still a disconnect?
That's what I don't know. Outgrown.
You might have just outgrown the friendship.
Time to fly.
Y'all might have outgrown the friendship.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
And I tried to like exit it softly, like, hey, I think we're just not where we used to be. But then it was, but she's holding on to me like, you're my bestie, you're my bestie, you're my bestie. But we're not best friends. Like, there have been some real substantial things that have happened in her life that has transpired. She didn't share those things with me.
Ooh.
And I was just like, I get it. We're not best friends, but don't give me that best friend title if we don't share in those things that are really, really important in life.
It sounds like to me that there's more upside for her to have you as a bestie than to actually perform as a bestie to you, for you.
I guess
I think it goes back. I don't know who said it, but the friendship of convenience.
Yeah, that's what I was saying the other day. Yeah.
I think it was that. And I had it was a harsh like a really harsh reality, because I lost both of those friends like within weeks of each other.
Like, but I'm gonna go to the part of saying best friends and sharing. So, like I said earlier, my best friends, I have best friends, but my sisters are my best friends also. We are from a generation where I'm from Louisiana, and when we grew up, everything sticks in the family. So nothing comes out of my family to my best friends. So I would be that friend. You'll say, you didn't share that with me. No, I didn't. I shared it with my sisters, though, because I was raised that way. I was raised to keep everything in our family.
Keep it in the house. That doesn't leave the house.
Yeah, it doesn't leave the house. Now, if it's stuff that pertains to me and my friends outside that we built together, that's different. But when it comes to certain things, like nobody knew my sister had cancer because it was something we kept to us.
Right.
So yeah, certain things that I wouldn't want my best friend like when my sister passed. Everyone like, well, we didn't know. No, you didn't know. Well, nobody came against me and say, wow, she didn't tell us this. So if they did, they didn't tell it to me. They knew better to tell it to me. But it's
what if a friend got married and you didn't know it?
Oh.
And they called
you not your friend. Best friends got married. Like okay. So that's the thing. Associates and friends.
Now there you go.
I'm talking about my very best friend, who is my family member.
Y'all not best friends.
I introduced her to the guy 20 years ago.
You thought she was your best friend. You thought she was your best friend.
You a faux friend, girl.
Your best friend.
You are her best friend.
Yeah.
You
were not hers. She had a whole different best friend.
Especially if she had a big wedding.
Have another best friend. Like she doesn't have another best friend.
All right.
That you know of.
I haven't heard anything from Kimberly and Renee on the last Super Pass.
Oh, okay.
What are your takes?
I was gonna say, did she elope? Because I eloped.
Did you really now? But you didn't tell? Ma'am, you didn't tell.
I just called people and said, I'm getting married tomorrow. Don't worry about it.
No, I get that. But 3 months later?
Oh.
Wow.
They're hiding something from you. What it is, I don't know.
Ooh,
it's something they're hiding.
I know what it is.
Oh, so they were hiding it.
Wait a minute, Kimberly, what are your thoughts?
I would have had a conscious uncoupling with that friend because, like you said, there was a disconnect, and I'm one of those people who pours out, but after a while, I reach my limit with a taker, where they're not giving back. And the simplest thing, like not returning a phone call, after a while, I'm like, wait a minute, you can't return a phone call? And I'm calling you?
Yepper.
But when you have an emergency, you're like, oh, it's 911, call me as soon as you can. And I'm like, no, enough of this BS. There has to be some sort of reciprocity, some sort of balance in our relationship. And if there isn't, then we need to part ways, because clearly this is not the kind of relationship I want to be in. Go and find somebody else to be a barnacle on their boat.
Has technology... Go ahead, Cherry. Go ahead.
When my son passed away, my best friend of 30 plus years, she was not there for me at all. But she is one of those people that does not do well with death. But it didn't stop me from being upset with her because I was like, this is a child. This is a child that you had a relationship with, like, that you called your nephew. Like, I literally didn't talk to her for about a year and a half. That's how long it took for me to get over it. Um, and I mean, it was rough
Friends with her?
because
You remained friends with that person?
yeah, yeah, I talk to her every day. It's Ebony.
I know. I figured it was Ebony. I figured it was Ebony.
It's Ebony.
Okay, I'm going to say this. If my child, that part of me, left this earth and the person, no shade against Ebony, because I think she's a bomb chick. She really is. If you are my friend, now here's a question. Was Ebony present while you were pregnant with this child?
This was not a child that I gave birth to. This was my stepson who I raised.
Okay, all right. But was she there as this child evolved and grew?
She definitely was present for a lot of his life. But she and it. I won't say that she didn't call me. She didn't check on me. She didn't do. She did that. But when it came to the service, she was not there.
All right.
She was not there.
I'm going to tell y'all this just in case. I can be very serious when it comes to death. I'm seriously clownish because I don't deal with death very well. I am like a jokester. I'm telling, I'm punning, I'm quipping, just so you know, just in case. But I'm going to be there I'll still be there because if I'm your friend, I think everyone here just about is an empath. It's hard for me because I absorb it like secondhand stress, and it just like, ugh. So I joke and quip and things, but I wouldn't leave you out in the rain like that. I couldn't. My heart and my soul couldn't do that. But we all process things differently.
Yeah.
And I know how she is with death. Because we had one of our close friends pass away, and she did everything up until the funeral, and
Okay.
You couldn't handle the funeral.
and then that was it. And and I guess I thought because I've been around the longest, she's been around my kids, I would be different. I was not. Like, that's her stance. That's how she is. She does not do well with death at all. So yeah, it did. It took me about a year and a
I
half to
can see
talk to
that.
her again,
I can see
because
that.
I was really really hurt, and yeah, it was rough.
Can we come back from friendships that get fractured? I mean, Sherry just showed us that she could come back from a fractured friendship.
Yeah,
You have.
we can.
I have.
Yvette.
I'm actually trying to work through a friendship that I value very much so.
Not with that girl though, right?
It's I think no, not her. Okay. But I really would like to be back friends. I'm talking about close friends like a sister. And I would really like to be back friends with this person because I do see the value of having her in my life. And
Do you mind me
I
asking
want
what broke the friendship?
girl. I don't want to reveal this one on here, but it child
Just give me broad strokes. Broad
it
strokes.
is a man.
As soon as she on live.
I was gonna say it better not be a man again.
It's the man. Let me
I'm
okay,
seeing
and
the
okay. I'm
pattern.
just gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this. I think that you know. I just okay.
Is
I'm
this
gonna
a
try to.
Texas thing?
You know what?
Girl, I don't know what this is with these girl. Listen, me, I'm like this. I don't go back for your seconds. I don't. Now that's me. I don't go back behind my friends. I was thinking to myself,
That's like girl code.
that's
I'm
what
not
I
going
thought.
to do your man, your ex-man.
So she slept with your ex-man.
No, she was trying to take him basically from me when we were seeing each other. She was going
So
behind
why do
me.
you feel
I,
like you want to befriend her again?
okay, because I feel like that maybe that was just a fluke.
No.
That's a
No.
character fluke.
When they show you who they are, believe them.
Believe them, yes. It's the truth.
Right, but it just
You know, you holding on to dead friendships, and that doesn't make room for new friendships.
Exactly.
well, you know what, you're so right, because I
Preach.
ended that friendship too.
But
But
you still want it back. So you gotta
I
release
do.
that so you can get new friendships.
Yeah.
Okay, Renee. Okay, I'm
Ain't no room for
See
nobody
how she
new.
tightened you
You
right
got
up?
the ghosts of old friendships hanging around.
okay, Renee. You know what? I wanted to go back, Karen. You said about the person that you invited to this cast, and
Yeah.
I want to go back into that because
Okay.
you didn't never get your question answered. Uh,
Okay.
you were saying like, what was all of that about? What was that? You said that the lady blocked you on your number, she blocked your email, she did all this nonsense because you invited her to something that I want to say that is a prime example of envy.
Oh.
I was given a lesson the other day about jealousy and envy. They're different. Uh, and envy is the thing that most people flow in. They don't want you to do it. That's what envy is. They don't want you to succeed or flow or go forward. Jealousy is I want to be like that. Envy is I don't even want you to do it. And
Okay.
I just would have to say that that is a prime example of envy. And the whole thing of getting angry about it and all defensive is I mean, I'm not a therapist or anything,
There you are.
but
You're behind the chair therapist.
I am right. That is a prime example of envy, and I'm so glad that you got to see it in full show before you went any further. And
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so I met you when you were going through when your mother was sick,
Yeah.
and it was so unfortunate that uh, I almost felt like I needed to be there for you.
Thank
Uh,
you.
from woman to woman, we were I was like talking with one of my clients the other day, and she was like, women always are there for other women. We always support other women. And I think as a woman, there's a part of us is just like a sister to everyone. And it's just like you can sit up here and cry on a movie because you have those feelings. You can associate with something that maybe you dealt with in your own life. And it's like you can go to a funeral and cry over someone you don't even really know because you sense the heaviness or the sadness, in the room, and if that happened to you, it would be, a tragedy. So I just wanted to say that kudos to women
Mm.
because, I have probably had, I mean, thousands of women to sit in my chair at this point over my career. And, you know, uh, we are we are so multi-level and we are built so well. Um, I feel that even with this conversation, one of my friends, she was on and she was just saying she appreciates this because it's like you have touched on so many things involving friendships from so many levels. And women, we are so I can't even put my word on it of what I want to say about us because we're always there, in the time of need, or we're always there to listen. We always are there. And then there's the times when we have to be strong, as a woman. And then there's a time that you have to be weak. There's a time that and I just want to say kudos to women. We have such a hard job, and then we have to filter our way through all of the nonsense of, I say that some people, never got corrected as a child. So they go along in their lives doing the same thing they did as a child, and now they're a full grown adult and no one can really correct them anymore. So you get all of this rigmarole, all the incidents that we just talked about. You get all of that because now they're just a grown child or someone that has gone through their lives and no one has ever really corrected the bad behavior.
Wow. Thank you, Yvette, for that. There's from end to end. There's so much depth to this, and part of me was like, is there enough for us to talk about for in the time? And I really, because I started kind of pulling it apart, and conversations that I think I've had with a number of you about friendships and things of that nature. This was a really good conversation, and I think I want to thank all of you for the friendships that you've given me, which is why I wanted us to start off with friendships and just exploring the nature of friendships. And from the bottom of my heart, I want you guys to know that you all, I'm sorry the other ladies couldn't be here, but you all mean so much to me. You all give me so many different bonuses and benefits from being in my life, and I appreciate you guys more than you know. Please know I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. And I'm grateful that I can share with other women the things, the amazing aspects of your personalities and your lives that you bring to the table. And I'm really looking forward to this being something enormous that we can not just pour into each other, but pour into other women.
Can I say one more thing, Karen?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to say to Yvette, Yvette, I think you have a beautiful soul. I really do. I just hearing you speak from the friends you have and what you just spoke on jealousy and envy. I want to say that your friends probably are showing some of those things because you are a beautiful soul, and they're seeing how beautiful you are, and they're basically being the envy what you just explained to you. There are friends, there are people out there like us on this panel that are good friends. We don't, we're not people that are. I don't want nobody man. I want you to have your man. I have my man. And I don't. If it's your man, it's your man. And and you have to look at the pattern that is going that your friends are in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to say it, like how you may pick your friends, but there are friends out there for you that's not going to take your man, that don't want your man, or you don't want to take your seconds, basically.
Yep.
Then I want to thank Karen for inviting me. This was great. I had a great time. I was wondering the same thing. What are we going to talk about, friends? We've been here a long time. I thank you for that, Karen. And I think I love meeting everybody on the panel as well.
Yeah, although I was late, because I was on the wrong time zone.
Oh.
So technically I was on time for my time zone. um, I've enjoyed the conversation. It's nice meeting you ladies. I hope to see you ladies again throughout the rest of her series.
Yes.
Karen, you know you're dope.
Yes.
You know you're dope.
Thank you.
I always try to pull you in on everything that I be having going on. So, you're dope.
Oh God, you guys.
You're not in the camera, Cameron. What you just did was not in the camera.
Yeah, you ain't in the
here
camera.
we go.
Now you
Hey, you guys. Those of you who are listening or who may hit it on the replay, everyone here has a business or they're content creators. I'm going to give everyone a chance to kind of go around, and I think this is how we'll do it at the end of every cast. That is every Monday, the last Monday of every month, you will find us gathered here. And it's about Gurl Bye to all the, for real? Oh, God. Come on.
10 o'clock alarm.
Okay, for real? That's it's time for me to go to bed alarm. Okay.
No, that's what I said.
Okay. Gotta get this good black doesn't not crack on its own. I've got to nourish it. So what I'm saying is we will be here every Monday night, the last Monday. Let me correct myself. The last Monday of every month, we will gather again. It may not be the women who are here today. We will have a different assortment, array of people who are my friends, women who I love and I appreciate and respect and admire, who have walked with a wealth of wisdom. Right now, I want them to tell you where you can find them in these social media streets. I'm going to start with you, E.
Oh, so I own a company called Black Print Digital Media Group, which is an online site for Black and Brown business.
Say that again, slower this time.
Oh, Black Print, BlackPrintDMG.com is the website. It is a website that we're launching in May that will have businesses for Black and Brown businesses worldwide. It was created because I traveled a lot. And when I traveled, I could never find businesses for color to do my hair. Like, Yvette, where you located again?
Houston, Texas.
Okay, and I'll be in Houston next on Wednesday.
Really?
I'll be there on Wednesday. Yes, I
Okay.
get you with Karen. So when I travel places, I have to Google and try to find places or ask somebody who's in the town, where you got your hair done? Where can I get my nails done by a Black business? So I'm creating a website that is going to house all of that on it.
Like
Thank
the Green
you.
Book,
Mhm.
the online Green Book.
Yes,
Absolutely.
online Green Book. There you go.
Very, very cool. Renee, what about you? Where can they find you?
I'm at
What do you do?
welldiva.com.
What do you do, and where can they find you?
Okay, I am at welldiva.com.
What is that?
I am the Well Diva. My business is a travel business that I started in 2017 for ladies who want to travel but don't have friends who can afford luxurious trips,
Mhm.
or friends who want to go all the way to Kenya, which was our most recent trip.
Mhm.
I've had probably over 300 ladies come together and travel with me. Usually the groups are anywhere from 10 or 12 to up to 40. Usually they're in the 20 range since the pandemic is kind of cut down. But I wanted to go to Dubai and celebrate my 50th, and I invited 40 people, and one showed up.
Oh.
So after that, I started this business because I was like, I know I ain't the only person who want to go to Dubai. And I know I'm not the only person who wants to travel to different exotic places and, don't have friends who want to do that. So we will never go to the DR, because we're just not going where everybody's going to go. This is for the woman who wants to go to Kenya and Tanzania and different places all over the world. I'm sure you have friends that'll go with you to the Caribbean. So we don't really do that one. I'm also a plant-based chef and a registered dietitian. On the 1st of April, I am relaunching my Stay Fly plan, and that is for the woman who maybe you kind of know how to get in shape. You've done it before, but you fell off and you need to get back on track. Also, I'm a hypnotherapist and a positive psychology coach.
Okay.
I'm at Well Diva on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
Okay.
All right. Kimberly, where can they find you? What do you do?
I am an executive mindset coach. Right now, I am working on bringing that back. I was down since COVID, but I am coming back. And you can find me on Facebook at March to Wellness Sanity. That's my page.
All right.
MARCH.
MARCH. Like March Madness, because that's when I started it during March Madness. So March to Sanity.
Okay. Got it.
All right. Lola, where can they find you at?
I am the proud owner of Heal Black Joy. I started it as a podcast on Instagram. Heal, like HEAL Black Joy. I've done it for
heels, Black women with bad heels.
I took a sabbatical for about a year because I was just burned out. I was a one-woman show. But I'm bringing it back. I just started doing some interviews. I just haven't put them up yet. But you can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Facebook under Heal Black Joy.
Black Joy. Gotcha.
All right.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention my podcast is also on YouTube. It's called Unapologetically Fly, but it's also under Well Diva Lifestyle.
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully I didn't lose y'all right there. Sherry, tell them where they can find you.
Again, I'm Shari. I have a podcast
Shari, that's
called
what I
That.
said. I mess up your name every time,
It's
like it's a
okay. I'm
religious
used to it. At this
experience.
point, I'm used to it. You don't respect my name. It's okay. I get it.
Okay.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm used to it. But
No,
no.
it's
My podcast is Naturally Unbothered Podcast. We are on YouTube, Spotify. We're everywhere, and it's a sex positive podcast. Karen comes and graces us, and all the time it's wonderful. And it's Naturally Unbothered Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. And then I also have a earring company. Well, it's not. It's just a jewelry company in general. It's called Adornment Chic. I make earrings out of clay. I sell vintage earrings as well, but I mostly make my own earrings. So,
That for me.
and that is dot store. And yeah, I'm on Instagram, all the social media.
okay. All right. And finally, Miss Yvette, where can they find you
Um, I
in
own a
Houston?
hair salon here in Houston, Texas called Tight Ends Hair Studio. I've been in business for over 27 years. I am really trying to um, pivot out of the hair business. I know my clients ain't gonna want to hear this, but um, I am getting into what I've been doing all along, which is life coaching. I have several niches that I would like to tackle. One is for women who have not had the chance to put themselves first. And that's what I've seen behind the chair a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Women, we just don't put ourselves first. I don't know if we've been trained to do that from kids or what, but it's a solid thing that I see amongst women. Um, and I am planning a retreat for women to go and learn more about that, to like break it down and let's see what we can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my present niche that I'm doing is to help with development of hairstylists. It's the thing that I really, really want to leave uh, as a legacy, because this is such uh, a powerful career path. When people don't look at it like that, and I want to make sure that we stay, that glamorous. I don't know about y'all, but when I used to go to the beauty shop, man, my hairstylist was always so glamorous. She was
Hmm.
always so pretty and just always well liked. And I want that to remain, amongst the hairstylists. Also, um, I noticed that after COVID, that women uh, business owners are not being considered for loans and funding. So
Really?
yeah, I dove deep into grants. And so I'm developing a business for hairstylists to get funding and grants,
Oh wow.
and also stylist development. And that company is going to be called Gurl Bye Academy. And I'm so excited about it because as women, and especially blacks, I can only speak for that because that's who I am. We haven't been given a chance to really actually have the right kind of funding for our businesses.
Mm.
So you can find me on Facebook at Yvette Sunny. You can also find me uh, on Instagram at Hair Doctor 321.
Okay. I am, as always, wink, blink, and flirt. I will be, you can find me on now TikTok. Hey, I'll be doing TikTok lives now. You can find me on Instagram as Wink Blink Flirt. We are moving into the perimenopausal space, and so you will be able to find me soon. That'll be up as Perimenopause 101 Survival and the Survival Guide. And we will have the Survival Guide. We will have a workshop coming up, and there are a couple of events that I want you guys to look for in the spring where I'm going to be coming out and I'm going to be spilling all the tea about perimenopause and all of the pauses. So, I look forward to seeing some of you, I think, next month. I'm trying to remember does anyone remember what our topic is for next month? Or I can't remember off the top of my head.
Dating, mating, and menopause.
Dating, mating.
Is too old.
So it's one of those.
John is too old. He ain't too old to do nothing.
I know that's right. I know that's
Sherry,
right.
I hope you rang in on that one, because y'all, if you ever want to go to the naughty corner, I'm gonna say that you have to tune in. It's where all of my proper goes. I put that outside of the door when I go to Sherry's podcast, and it's like, are we allowed to say that here? Oh, she's like, oh yeah. I'm like, okay. So it's fun. Her pod is informative. It's interesting. I learn a lot, and I always come trying to share a lot as well. Hey guys, it's been amazing. It's been a lot of fun. I'm going to kind of wind us up. Please join us again next week. Next week, Lord, stop lying, Karen. Next month, and that is going to be on the next time we gather. Will be April the 29th at 8:35. Hey, be there or be square, or be like an old hat.
8:30 Eastern.
Huh?
8:30 Eastern.
8:30 Eastern, 8:35 Eastern, 7:35 Central, and 5:35 Pacific. All right. Now let's see if I can find this. And we're gonna pull the plug on this. Hey, goodbye, good night, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Take care. See you later.
Bye.